I was dating a white guy and his mom was a school counselor. And she pulled me in her office and she said, "You and my son can't date anymore because your kids will be confused." And they scream out the truck and say, "N-word lover," and scream it. And so my roommate stops and looks at me and she's like, "Who are they talking to?" And I looked at her and I was like, "They're talking to you." I was always ready to go to the next opportunity. I was the first one to leave Nebraska. My brother and sister stayed. They've never left.
Wow.
I was the black sheep. Before people ever see the confidence, the career, or the courage that I have as an adult, during my childhood, I was always having the overwhelming feeling of never belonging.
So how does growing up without a clear place to fit in shape the way that we move through life and take risks as an adult?
Welcome, everyone, to Courageous New Start. I'm Dawn Stevens.
And I'm Alexis Rogers.
I don't know if you can feel it, but this is going to be a different episode.
Yeah.
A special episode. I think it's time for us to tell people where we came from, why we are who we are, and how we got to be and think the way we think now. And that means talking about our childhood.
Yes. Come on. You can't be our internet cousins and not actually know these things. So
Right?
This is going to be good. I'm excited
We
about
want
it.
to let people know a little bit more about us, right? And that's what's so exciting about podcasting. We are former TV news journalists. There were times where we could talk about who we are, how we grew up, and we shared those stories. But now with podcasts, we can become more intimate with our audience and talk about what actually shaped us when we were children. And most of us do have stories that monumental thing happened. You'll never forget that day. And so we wanted to take time to share those times in our lives with people and just be able to relate to folks. I just alluded to in the top of the show, I never felt like I ever belonged or fit anywhere growing up.
What do you think that is?
Do you know what? If I'm being honest with you, I don't even think as a child I knew that. Does that make sense?
You just knew something felt different?
I knew something felt different. I
But you
called
couldn't put
myself
words to it?
No, exactly. And I did call myself the black sheep in my family. And my mom and dad would tell you I was the black sheep.
Oh, you know Don. You know how Don be.
I was independent. I did my own thing.
You independent? No.
When I had the ability to go to college, I said, "Peace, I'm out, Mom and Dad."
See?
And we won't get into that story today, but that's real. I very independent. I never felt like I belonged. And Alexis, I'll tell you this because you are just Miss Social Networking, and that's why I attract people like you. I never wanted to be a part of a club or a part of a networking group growing up.
Yeah.
I always had that one friend. And so we'll talk about that. And that's just who I am. Now, as I become a business owner, the power of networking, right? It's great community.
Yeah.
Being with your tribe, with your group. So just taking a look back at what I actually went through, how it shaped me to become who I am today, which is let's bring the whole world together and love on each other and be in a collective group. But that necessarily wasn't the case when I was a child.
I'm excited to see how you see yourself now because that probably is going to be different than how you even see your childhood or how you saw your childhood 5 years ago, 10 years ago.
That's probably true.
You know, you changed.
Yeah,
So,
for sure.
yes.
I had to change, though.
I
we
mean,
got to become business owners.
Listen, thank you. If you got people in your life that are not trying to change, just let them not change by themselves, okay? We need to change, okay? We're molding, we're growing. I think when the first time I was asking you about you were like, I was like, where are you from? And you were like, well, that's a complicated question. And I was like, okay. And I was telling you how I have family in Texas, and you were like, oh, I know Texas. So let's start there. Tell me a little bit about how you grew up and where Texas fits and all that.
Right. So because I am military, my dad's retired Air Force, it is different when people ask me, where are you from? And so for the most part, I did grow up in a place called Bellevue, Nebraska. And I'm just going to say the name because anybody who's not been to Nebraska doesn't know, doesn't have a clue. But it's a suburb of Omaha. Okay, so there's a military base there, Sac Air Force Base. Whoop, whoop to all the folks in Omaha, Nebraska. I love you, and I loved growing up there. But growing up on a military base was totally different than growing up in a typical community like the Twin Cities. So we'll talk about that in just a second. But I was born on a military base in San Antonio, Texas. Lackland Air Force Base. And I was only there for 2 years because my dad's military, so he's moving around every couple years. But my one memory from Texas, I had this yellow Barbie wallet that was plastic. I don't know if you had one when you were a kid.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Girl.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
I put that wallet on the back of the car and went into the grocery store, wherever with my mama, and came back out, and that baby was melted to the seat.
Because it's so
And
hot.
I cried and cried and cried because it's so hot. It melted.
God.
That's my one memory from San Antonio, Texas. It is.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
It's funny what we remember as kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. It does get hot out there, though.
It's so hot. So my mother-in-law moved there 10 years ago. And so we'd take the kids in the summertime to visit.
Yeah.
And I said, how do you guys survive these horrible summers? It's so hot. And she's like, we do what you guys do in the cold in Minnesota. We just stay inside.
They
You
sure
stay
do.
in the AC. So.
Especially, my sister went to University of Texas, San Antonio.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We know that. So then you said Nebraska. First of all, I'm going to say the quiet part out loud. I'm sure plenty of people
course you are.
There's black people in Nebraska?
Girl.
What?
Yes.
There's probably plenty of stereotypes about Nebraska that you
Yes.
probably can help us out with.
I didn't drive to school on a tractor. I didn't roll through the cornfields to get to school or to the store. I lived in a city, y'all. The city was called Omaha. Bellevue is the suburb of it. And so, now don't get me wrong. When you roll out of the city, yes, it's all cornfields.
Somebody got a tractor.
Somebody's
It's just not
rolling on
you.
a tractor. But you know what, though? There is a strong black community in Omaha, Nebraska.
Okay.
There's a lot of black history there. And so a lot of people don't know that because they just go off the stereotypes, right, of Nebraska. And so what's unique about Nebraska with the black community there, and I tell this all the time to people when they ask me, what's unique about it is the black people truly stick together in Nebraska because there aren't that many of us.
Yes.
So growing up, I saw very strong black people that were entrepreneurs, that were upper middle class, that were making money, that were a part of the economy.
Yes.
And they stuck together, man, supported each other, helped each other out. Now, don't get me wrong. In school, I was one of a handful of black people, but was real. This is what I loved, and this shaped me. This is what I loved about growing up in a military environment. I was also around people of Asian descent, Native American, Hispanic. There's a very large Hispanic population in Nebraska.
I have heard that, but I was shocked when I did.
Yep. So originally the story goes, South Omaha, we had some industrial plants.
Yeah.
And so that was kind of predominantly where the Hispanic population lived.
Okay.
But just visiting over Christmas, they're all over. And it's great. It's super diverse is my point, right? People don't have that stereotype of Nebraska.
Not at all.
And then on top of that, on top of the diversity, just sticking together and loving on each other. And that was important because when I moved to Minnesota, where sometimes the stereotype is black people don't stick together, it threw me a little bit. The expectation
You're
of...
like, hold on, wait a minute. I just needed a little sugar. You can't give me a little sugar
Just a
from
little
your
sugar.
cabinet, just
That's
a little
all I
bit.
want,
Yes.
right? Yeah, it threw me. But you said it the other day, you find your tribe here.
You have to.
You find your community and you're good. And that's everywhere though. So.
Well, you bring up a good point. I wanted to ask you about that, how creating community has worked for you as you've moved to these different places. Because a lot of people have never lived on a base of any sort. So like that is a different kind of community to create, but you've also lived off base plenty of times. So how do you go about creating community as you go from place to place?
It was very hard to create community when I first moved here to Minnesota. And I'll be honest with you, I got very fortunate because I moved here to be with a man, my hubby.
See?
Who
Hold on, wait a minute now.
made a difference.
It always is one that's going to bring you somewhere.
Bring me right up in here.
And you're like, you know what? That's okay. I'm going to figure y'all out. I got my man at home. But please continue.
And so I had my man at home. So when people of color moved to Minnesota to be here also, I couldn't give them the real story of what it's like to be alone moving to Minnesota.
Because you were already coupled.
Because I was already coupled. And so I did find my group of girls that all worked corporate jobs. They connected to me because they saw I was from Omaha and they were from Omaha too.
Okay.
So I had a group of girls when I first moved here in 2006, 2007 that I'd go kick it with, find the hot clubs, find the hot spots, where the after work, where you having drinks
Thinking about
at.
you in the club is like, I have so many smiley moments thinking about that.
Oh,
you.
So we need to go clubbing because
please?
Landon and I would do it up in the club.
So like, are you like a dance cute club girl, or were you like, this is my jam, I'm about to just be in it?
Number two.
And this is the reason why I like you.
Number 2. Now, Landon will tell you, if I'm being honest, and I don't know if I should say this because my parents might be watching.
It's okay.
But the more liquor I had in me, the more I was number 2.
That means that you are a red-blooded human being. Absolutely.
I think I am.
When the beat hits right,
right?
Please.
Okay. Oh,
Come
man,
on.
those were good times. So Landon and I lived in the club when we were dating.
Okay,
only when
club.
kids came along did we stop our club days. But yeah, we were kicking it Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Well, yep.
Listen, Thursday's the new Friday. Y'all were just ahead of the time.
Right?
Okay.
Seriously. So yeah, so it was a great time. So I found my community here because someone reached out to me. And I was like, yep, let me go hang with my girls so I can figure out the hot spots, the places to be, the places to connect with folks. Every other place I've lived, it was very difficult. I think, honestly, if I could be truthful, Alexis, I just stayed in the world of the TV news people.
You know how many people, okay, hold on. Let's just like park it right there just for 2 seconds. There's so many people who just stay within their like workforce people. Like I have a lot of friends who are pastors, for instance, and they're like, man, you need people who are not just pastors in your life. Journalists, I love us, but I can't just have a bunch of that. Can you imagine? Dinner is like exhausting. Everybody got questions.
That's so true.
Like we just need to like mix it up a little bit. So I'm so happy you're being honest about that because that's how a lot of people are.
Yeah, I think so too because it's easy.
Yeah.
And I was in Madison for 4 years. And I can truly say I didn't really find a tribe outside of the TV people.
But how would you though, Dawn? Because first of all, when we move to these different places, like you move for the job, then like you're at the job all the time. Like you know your people at work better than they people at home know your people at work. So you know I get that.
Yeah, and I alluded to this in a former episode, but Landon and I were dating the 4 years that I was in Madison. So girl, I was
You
to the
were
Twin
a flight
Cities.
risk. Don been a flight risk for a long time, y'all.
I was out. My news director would always try to talk to me during the summertime when it wasn't cold to renew my contract because she knew that if it was cold outside, I'd be like, nope, gotta go.
Strategy.
It's straight strategy.
And then you
It
came to
worked.
Minnesota. You know you love that man.
I know, I must, right? Because it's cold up here. Everybody knows it. It's cold. So yeah, but that's how I found community here. And that was important because I've been here now 15 years on this second stint because I was in Minnesota for 2 years on my first TV job out of college.
Right.
Met him, went to Madison, we did long distance, and then came back here. So I've been here since 2006.
Wow.
And finding community has definitely been hard. After I left TV, it was easier to find community. I had more time to like go do what I wanted to do.
Yeah. Yeah. That's so good. Tell me about your parents. What did they do for a living?
Growing up with 2 parents, one obviously retired Air Force.
Yes.
Dad is from Newark, New Jersey. He met Mom at Montclair State in New Jersey.
Okay.
And the story goes, I can't remember if I shared this or not, but like my mom is a theater major, wanted to be on Broadway. Ooh. And did I tell this story to you and Reggie?
No, you did not.
So she got her call back to Broadway for the first time ever the day of her wedding. And she had a choice, marry my dad or go to this callback for Broadway.
What?
Yep. And she chose to marry my dad, of course. So she tells that story all the time, but her passion, her love is music and theater. So I was a theater major actually before I was a journalism major because I followed in my mom's footsteps.
Wow.
And so
I didn't know that about you. Okay.
Yep. And so growing up, it was all about theater, plays, music. I was forced to take piano lessons. And kids, if your parents force you to take piano lessons, I'm telling you now, don't quit. Even if you want to quit. I regret quitting so
I want to take them again.
much.
Piano lessons are good for the soul.
They're totally good for the soul. And so we were home for Christmas just now, and my nephew plays the piano, and he's so magnificent. I started to cry, girl. It was so beautiful. Yeah. So that's like
that.
music. Obviously hits all of our hearts. And so that was my mom's thing. So they met in college. My dad joined the military. And growing up in Nebraska, and I really believe this is foundationally what makes me who I am. My parents always preached to me that I could be whatever I wanted to be. And I think just saying it and believing it are two different things.
Yeah.
I think that my parents believed it because I say this, and I don't know how many people agree with it, but it was just my little world in the 1980s. They had been through the civil rights movement. They had seen all the things that we didn't see firsthand.
Yeah.
They knew, and I'm going to talk about that in just a moment too. But they really believed that we as people of color, this was our time. And the 80s were like, no, now we have opportunities to do everything. We're in the same spaces as white people, right? Schools, like, there was no question. It's the 80s, let's go. And so I never really even had a doubt for a moment that I couldn't do what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until later, when you get older, when life slaps you in the face and someone tells you, hey, you're not white and you're a woman, right? And then those things happened to me as I got older. But growing up, being sheltered, living in this home of you can do whatever you want to do, I believed it. And so I think that helped with confidence for sure. And so my parents always preach that. And I appreciate that because we tell our kids the same thing. But our kids are watching something different outside the window than what I was watching in the 80s.
Yeah, I mean, such is life, right? That makes sense.
Yeah.
So teaching has been like a family thing and not for you.
It's not for me. Teaching is not for me, and I hate admitting it because I wish that I was a teacher because I tried. Because my mom forced me to try.
She was like, yes, you can be anything, but guess what? You're going to try to teach.
Girl, she had me. So my mom is obviously a piano teacher, music teacher, theater teacher, all the things. And my dad, after he retired in 89, which was pretty quickly after we went to Nebraska, he became a teacher also. So going to school, there was no messing around. I'm going to be the straight A student. I'm going to be in all the AP classes.
Yes.
And so school came very easy to me because I had the support system behind me of teachers.
Yes.
So that was great. Moving forward to college, got scholarships, theater scholarship, that I ended up saying, see ya, gotta go. But them being teachers was actually a huge blessing. And so I just remember one monumental moment of me realizing that God didn't give me the gift to be a teacher. My personal opinion is my mom had me sign up to be a second grade teaching assistant for summer school. And girl, those second grade kids, oh my gosh.
The ones in summer school at that. Oh, no.
See, I didn't even go there.
Everybody has a ministry. I could have told you right there. You know what? Bless your heart. I'm not the one.
I was more like, why can't you blow your nose yet? That was my problem. It's more just like, I really don't feel like doing that for you. You need to go help yourself. And so I figured out teaching wasn't for me. I just wasn't there,
Yes.
Now, like obviously after having kids, I'm blowing noses, I'm wiping butts. It ain't no thing.
I mean, you graduated, but you weren't there then.
I wasn't there. So I didn't know what my path was going to be. My older sister ended up becoming a teacher, similar to the path of my parents. But I knew that I wanted to do something different. I just didn't know what it was. Because I tried all the things that they were pushing me to do. But what really spoke to me was theater. And so I did that all throughout high school. I was the lead in West Side Story. I was Anita. Maria obviously was the main person.
Okay,
but
Anita.
I had some
but
solos.
Anita was the one with the soul, though.
She had the soul.
Sass and
I was
soul.
leading it. I was leading it. Yeah, so high school was really great. Just remembering those wonderful memories of doing theater and just being in a school that was full of diversity, but discovering myself during high school. Starting to date. I didn't put this story in to talk about, so I might just touch on it because it actually was the first time that I was like, oh, someone's looking at me and just seeing me as a Black girl versus Dawn. And so I was dating a white guy in 10th grade, and his mom was a school counselor. And she pulled me in her office and she said, you and my son can't date anymore. And I was like, well, why is that? She goes, because your kids will be confused.
She said that in the school?
She said that in the school.
Did you tell your parents about this conversation?
No.
Man, I wish you would have, because I have a feeling that would have been a different conversation afterwards.
You know what's so funny, Alexis? So that's your response to me telling that story. Like her using her authority in the school to do that was totally inappropriate.
That power imbalance was
crazy. That never crossed my mind. Until I tell the story later to school administrators specifically. And they're like, how dare she in that position of authority say that to you in the school?
Yes.
So girl, as a 15-year-old, I was just like, they'll be confused. That's why I can't date him. So a week later, he broke up with me, and that was the end of that. And so I just kept moving, right? I kept moving and grooving, and I'm like, okay, that's that experience. But kind of the first like, oh, not everybody's like, you can be whatever you want to be or do whatever you want to do.
I mean,
okay,
that sounds like that taught you perseverance.
Yeah.
Man, I want to go back to little Dawn so bad and be like, girl, where are the Tic Tacs or the whatever? Where's our car at? We got stuff to do. See, I'm saved now, y'all. Don't worry about me. Just don't worry about me. But you handled that way more gracefully.
I think I was just too naive to understand that she was abusing her power. Just like that's, only looking back.
Yes.
Did I realize what she was doing? And yeah, I would be horrified if my kids came home and told me that a school administrator said that to them, right? So that I think goes to show how naive I really was about a lot of stuff.
Golly. Okay, so your parents, they taught, but they're also entrepreneurs as well?
Yeah, they had a side hustle, just like us.
Come on,
just
side
like we
hustle.
used to. Side hustle.
What? Tell me about that.
Okay, so my mom's side hustle was actually just her being an independent teacher, but my dad also and mom are involved in a company called Amway. Some people have heard of it. They think all types of things about it, don't really care. People have their opinions about it. But what it showed me was their ability to, after hours, after the 8 to 5, go out, connect with people, meet people, sell them what they were selling, which really I believe Amway is selling a dream. And you sell products too. I still buy Amway products. I love Amway. But I watched them hustle after hours and go to meetings every Wednesday with their core group of people and build the business is what they call it. Build the business and make additional money. And so that's what I got to watch. And my brother just said it to me the other day. He's like, we grew up watching mom and dad grind. We just watched them grind. And so he is also a business owner himself. He owns his own business. And we literally watched that and got to see what worked and what didn't work. And then started doing it ourselves as we got older. So I think it was very good that I didn't just see someone who, two parents who just worked 8 to 5 and said, okay, checking in, checking out, Monday through Friday. Now I'm retiring. That typical story, which is great. But even in the 80s and 90s, I got to witness the entrepreneurship of my parents. And I think that was helpful.
That's super helpful. And I know you've talked about your siblings, on and off throughout these stories. But, you said you didn't feel like you belonged for a little while. Talk to me about that.
So in high school, I don't know how many people could relate to this, but I got my first best friend my sophomore year of high school. Now that means that all through grade school, all through middle school, I never had a best friend. And if I'm being real with you, Alexis, I didn't really even know that back then until I watched my kids grow up and I saw their connections in preschool and grade school. My daughter is still best friends with the girl that she met in second grade.
Oh, so sweet.
And they're now freshmen in high school.
Wow.
And so I never had those early connections and those early relationships. And so thankful that God brought into my life my best friend, who's still my best friend. I call her Shreddy, but her real name is Lorene. She has been very helpful in helping us on this journey of business too. But girl, we used to do it up right in our sophomore year because she's Filipina.
Okay.
And I'm the cute black girl. She's the cute Filipina girl. And we just knew we were cute, just all by ourselves.
Listen, the power of when you just know you're cute. Okay. Can we just talk about that for a second?
You.
That's
Seriously.
Magical.
Yes. No, we just knew we were too cute sophomore year, junior year, senior year. And people knew, okay, Shreddy and Dawn and Shreddy, yep, they're the crew. And so people on Facebook, they'll always be like, you guys are still friends? Like, heck yeah, we're still friends. So we had a bond greater than many other bonds. So I knew that God had just said, just wait for that person to come. Because I remember praying for a best friend. I remember praying for friends.
Yes.
I was always typically a loner, very independent, and I was cool, just rolling by myself. But it's so nice to have a best friend. I will say that my best memory with her, we were dating some guys from the rival school across town. So once we could drive, which, by sophomore year, we both had our little raggedy cars. Oh, God bless them. And we roll over to their school, and the guy that I had been dating, I think he dumped me. I don't know. Whatever. Who cares? But we were like, oh, we're about to get him. So we took bananas, toilet paper. Oh my gosh. Am I making a confession? Okay.
No, it's past the statute of limitations.
Statute of limitations.
It's okay.
It was 1996.
Oh yeah. We well past that.
Actually, it was 94. Okay. So we're good. And so we took some bananas, some toilet paper. I think that was it. And we just TP'd his truck.
Oh, man.
In the parking lot.
That was back when toilet paper wasn't that expensive, y'all.
Yeah, it was cheap.
Because now,
and it was so good.
I would fight somebody for doing toilet paper because I mean,
you wasted that toilet paper.
The 3-ply.
Seriously, you're right. Yeah, we didn't even think about it back then.
No, back then it was a luxury.
Yes, totally.
That's funny.
So we TP'd his car together. Best memory because we came back to my house afterward and we just hee-heed the whole night. You know how that is when you hee-hee with your girlfriend?
Evil plan.
Yes. Yeah. So
I love it.
My point to that is, to this day, she is my best friend. We talk on a regular basis. She lives in Switzerland. So thank God for FaceTime, WhatsApp, all the things where I can see her kids and we can see each other. But yet just talking, that's all we need,
Yes.
She has, how you just need someone to just support you no matter what.
Absolutely. And someone who knows you.
Knows me.
That it's the things that you don't have to say.
Right.
That is good for your wellness and your mental health. And you sound like you have that with her.
Yeah, 100%. It's necessary. I'm very blessed and thankful to have her in my life. So.
I know that our time is winding down, but I do want to ask about college. I know you kind of alluded to college a little bit. Monumental moments that you said that really solidified your life. Let's chat about that.
So college was one of those things where I went to University of Nebraska, Lincoln. And Shreddy was supposed to go with me, by the way. And this is just me just being petty right now. I'm going to call her out and be like, girl, why'd you leave me? Why'd you decide to go to San Diego State instead?
On my own. Why does it feel this way?
But yeah, she was smart. She went to a warmer state for college, even though she told me she was going to go to University of Nebraska, Lincoln with me. And went there for 4 years, switched degrees to from theater to journalism. Okay. Great journalism school. I got very blessed. We had a TV station, newscast, all the thing. But it was that time where I was all by myself, no longer in my cocoon, where mom and dad protected me and told me I could be all the things. And the reality is in Nebraska, Lincoln, Nebraska, it's a smaller town than Omaha, less diverse. And so I was on campus with obviously predominantly white people, but I found my tribe. I'll talk about that in just a moment. But one of my first memories of the world's not so great is me and my roommate, who was white. We were walking down the street in front of this gas station, and this big old truck with a Confederate flag in the back is rolling by, and they scream out the truck and say, "N-word lover," and scream it. And so my roommate stops and looks at me, and she's like, "Who are they talking to?" And I looked at her, and I was like, "They're talking to you because you're walking with a black person." And so that's how naive she was.
Wow.
And so I was just like, okay, I'm in this world. Like it matters.
Yeah.
That I look like this and I'm walking with someone who looks different than me. And that sucks. And that's why I live the life that I live. And I encourage my kids and the people in my life to love on everybody.
Yes.
To be around all different types of diversity.
Yes.
So people know that who know me. People know that that's what I care about. And so that's definitely related to how I grew up. I ended up getting a job at the Culture Center on campus.
Love
and that was also what, right? And so that speaks to how I became an entrepreneur and figured out that I was good at putting on events.
Okay.
Because girl, I know you don't play spades, but I put on the biggest spades tournament on the University of Nebraska campus you would ever see.
That was that right there was a cultural movement right there that you just did. Yes.
It was. And so we had a good time, brought all these people together, right, of different colors, nationalities, ethnicities. And that's when I actually started to learn about other ethnicities and their history. So if I can be real with you, the Native Americans had this friend who was like, "You think that black people have been through it? You should really find out what the natives have been through." And I thought that I had learned in my history books, but they don't tell everything in the history books. So this gentleman that I got to know really well shared a lot about Native American history and then Hispanic history, Asian. It was so awesome just to be engulfed with all these different cultures, ethnicities, nationalities in college.
Yes.
And that was what set me on my path to be who I am today. I love being around people that don't look like me.
Absolutely.
And if you think about it, a lot of people in this world feel comfortable being around people that do look like them.
Yes. Because it's not initially seen as being fun to be other. But unless you have had the life experience of what it means and feels to be other, then you start to realize like, oh no, the reason why people are so scared of this is because it's amazing they don't understand why.
Right.
And they're scared of it.
Yeah,
just like
100%.
Those crazy people that were just scared to see you being free in college, just walking with a new friend. They're afraid of what that's going to be because they're so small-minded,
right?
You know? So, man, look at you.
Yeah.
And you didn't have to tell everybody my secret.
Sorry, I called her out.
You see how Don just did that?
Who doesn't know how to play spades? Who are you? Because when she told me that, I said, girl,
listen, growing up, my mom didn't allow us to play cards. We'll talk about that.
Yes.
But like, it was like the most unchristian game that I got to play was like Uno. Okay? But that's all right, though.
I understand, but you went to
how it
college.
is.
You had to find your people. I understand how you didn't get a spades night.
The wrong time to play spades for the first time is in college. People are rude.
Oh, yeah.
And here's the thing. I was too cute. Remember how we were talking about being too cute? So I was like, okay, cool. Look, my roommates knew how to play. Yeah.
Okay.
And I didn't drink in college either.
They wouldn't teach you?
Like, it was like a whole thing.
Oh, okay.
But beer pong? I was the one that threw.
So you know how you just came in here and said we need to all go out to dinner?
Yeah.
We're going to actually have a spades night, and we're going to teach you and Reggie.
Please.
Does Reggie know how to play spades?
Yes, he knows how to play.
Okay. We're going to teach you how to play.
I'm the only one that you just busted out over here.
Yeah.
But growing up, everybody played dominoes where I'm from.
Okay, we can do that
But
too.
they played dominoes and spades. Look, my sisters know.
Yeah.
But my parents just got tired by the time, I guess they got tired in their sanctification by the time that I, got older.
So I will say to you, I apologize beforehand because I do get loud and rough and mean.
But that's how you're supposed to play. Here, okay, internet cousins, okay, my podcast compadres, all right? Please help me understand where to start. So that way Dawn doesn't talk about me too bad because we are friends and I want to stay friends. And I can already tell that she got a mouthpiece. She's probably going to hurt my feelings. So.
Oh my gosh. I'm going to try to be nice. I'm going to try. So real quick, New Year's Eve, hanging out with my football phenom family.
Yes.
The moms didn't know how to play spades. And I was going to be nice and teach them. And girl, it just didn't happen. I ain't got the
Notice
energy.
how she said she was going to try to be nice.
I was going to try to be nice. But yeah, they've had memories too of being in college and seeing it get wild and crazy. And they didn't want to be a part of it either. So,
oh my goodness.
So anyways, that was a fun little off derailing conversation we had there.
No.
About
so
spades.
your kids know how to play?
No, they don't. But they know how to play dominoes.
Wait a minute now.
They're 12 and 15.
No. You need to teach them now. Don't have them be like me. See how
Landon,
we do.
are we going to help the kids learn how to play spades?
Help them learn how to play.
15?
Matter of fact, why don't we all learn together?
Okay.
So that way, I'm not the only one who's learning
That's
for the
actually
first
smart.
time.
Yeah, and I'll be kinder because they're young. So
Are you going to? Because
Probably not.
I don't think so.
Probably not.
I don't think so. Because that's what spades brings out of people.
It does. It's such a fun game. And when you get good and you know strategy, man.
Oh my goodness.
You're missing out if you don't play.
Yes.
Okay, so we'll do that.
I had
That's
so much fun learning about
this was great.
you. I understand what it's like to go into your first job, especially your first TV job.
Mm-hmm.
And like you do this thing for the first time and like you're just putting your all into everything. Yeah. Talk to me about going to Austin, Minnesota. First of all, raise your hand if you even knew there was an Austin, Minnesota. Okay, let's start there.
Everybody says Austin, Texas, and I'm like, no.
It was like when I worked in Missouri, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we're going to Mexico," and we're like, "Oh, like the country?" I'm like, "No, Missouri, Paris."
Oh, girl, I didn't even know there was a Mexico, Missouri.
You're welcome. You are welcome. Okay.
Wow.
So you packed up all your things in your car. You're going for this new life. What gave you the courage to do that?
I wanted to end with this because this really is like when it was like, whoa, Dawn becomes Dawn. She is free and starting her career all by herself.
Yeah.
Nobody to fall back on. And so I had a little 84 Toyota Corolla that I bought myself.
Come on now.
And so I threw everything that I owned in the back of that vehicle, and which means I had a TV and then clothes. That's pretty much it. And so when I got my first TV job in Austin, Minnesota, I rolled up to my new apartment, and I didn't know that there was a hood in Austin, Minnesota. The town only has 20,000 people.
There's a hood everywhere.
But I got the apartments that were in the hood. They were at the last exit from the main city.
It's always by the exit.
So
it's always by the exit.
I put all my stuff into the apartment, and I had no furniture, no bed, no nothing. And I told my kids the story the other day. They laughed at me, so don't laugh, Alexis. But I went to, I think I was pulling my car, and I just saw in front of the dumpster, there was a love seat. And so I said, hey, thank you, God. There's my first piece of furniture. And so I was trying to like lift the thing up all by myself. And then some guy came along and was like, you need help? I was like, yes, please. And so he helped me bring this blue raggedy couch. Landon might remember it because he came to visit all the time. And into my house, I sprayed it, deep cleaned it, did all the things.
Yes.
And that was my new spot. And I had my TV on the floor right in front of me. And girl, I worked it for the next year. Because we didn't make any money at the first TV job.
No.
So that was just me being independent and doing what I needed to do to make it happen. And that was my first Dawn, you're going to do whatever it takes to become what you need to become to be successful in your career. I was the first one to leave Nebraska. My brother and sister stayed. They've never left.
Wow.
I was the black sheep. And still am today. And so my mom and dad always talked about how independent I was. I was just like Aunt Roberta, my dad says, just went off, took my wings and flew, right? And so that's how I've always been. I've never felt like I needed to just stay anywhere a long time and was connected to anything that, had to keep me there. I was always ready to go to the next opportunity.
Yeah.
And so, got my first job in TV, was there for 2 years, went to the next place for 4 years. And then Minneapolis, even though I wasn't planning on staying here long term because it's way too cold, I ended up finding my husband, marrying him, and now I'm still here. And it's great, right? It's where I'm supposed to be. It's wonderful. And found my tribe and found my community here and found the people that I'm supposed to be with and help connect and change. Like we're supposed to make change here, right?
Yes.
Like we are here to make a difference. And that's what's exciting now. But I just wanted to look back on like who I was and what I went through and all the things that shaped me to how I see the world today. Because truly, in my perfect world, when you walk outside your house and you see people that look different than you, all different colors, races, cultures, nationalities, you learn so much because they have so much to bring to the table that you never knew. So how exciting is that? And I think I just love to learn. I love to learn about people and the way that they grew up. And in my perfect world, one day, maybe my kids will have this world where they walk outside their door and everybody's like, yeah, you look different than me, but you're so cool. You do this and I learned this from you. And like just coming together and bonding and having a relationship, not based on how you look on the outside, but what you know about the person on the inside.
Yes.
Like that's my perfect world. And so I live that now, and you'll see that in who I befriend and who I bring around my family.
Yes.
And who I engage with, right? You'll see that. And so I'll live that life because I don't know how to live a different life until the end, and I'll preach that. And I think that my closest friends see that in me, that I'm going to look at your heart before I look at what is on the outside of you. And so biggest compliment from my daughter the other day, Mom, you have friends of all different colors. I was like, yes, I do. Thank you very much. That's a huge compliment. So you see it. And hopefully it's a positive example of, maybe how you want to have your life too. Because I think it's so rewarding. And I think it just fills me up.
Yes.
So I love it. So
I love that. Oh, I learned a lot more about you today.
Yes.
It all makes sense.
Does it?
Oh, man. I hope that we still feel this way about each other after you help me learn how to play spades. Would you look at that?
We'll see.
That's so good.
I would say you better ask Reggie some tips before you roll up.
Do you see?
I'm just being real.
You see the inflection in the tone?
I'm just trying to help you out.
Oh my gosh. You know what? This
gonna be
is
fun.
The family conversation. This is exactly the type of environment that we love at A Courageous New Start. And we want to make sure that you are all about connecting with us. So like, subscribe, visit us at courageousnewstart.podcast.com, courageousnewstart.com.
courageousnewstart.com, and then also mmpodcaststudio.com. We're inside Minnesota Podcasts and Content Studio right now, and we help people make beautiful content and level up, and it looks professional. So you can go to the website and just book with us and come see us, come hang out. We love people. We love talking with people. And so definitely thank you once again for joining us for this special episode. We wanted to take time just to let folks get to know a little bit more about who we are, and we'll do it again for you. We'll do it again.
Let's see what we get.
Yes, for sure. Well, be courageous, everyone. Every day is a new start.
We'll see you next time.